Yo, what's poppin', gamers? Welcome back to a brand new Bad Business video, and today is going to be my top 5 list of best assault rifles. Now, keep in mind, this is my personal list and what I like to use personally, so there might be some weapons that you may prefer over others. You can always leave your top 5 list down below in the comments instead of having an argument saying something should belong somewhere else, because again, this is my personal preference and what I would like to use. Anyways, with that said, make sure you guys are leaving comments down below with your opinions on my list and also putting your list down below as well. Before we hop into this, I would appreciate a like on the video because these do take quite a while to actually put together because I had to go out and get gameplay for each and every single weapon, record that all, and then I had to edit all that as well. And if you guys would like to see more videos like this and me doing a top 5 list of certain weapon categories, hitting a like button down below will show me that you guys do enjoy this content and would like to see more. Anyways, with that said, let's hop straight into the top 5 list. I would like to mention that this is not in any particular order. I just put them in wherever they are. Not number 1 is the best and number 5 is not the best. Nothing like that. Anyways, coming in the number 5 spot is going to be the ASVAL. Now, I know I haven't done any videos on this weapon yet, but I have been leveling it up recently. And I actually been using it a little bit off stream and off recording on my alt account that I will not tell anybody about, but I'm starting to like it. I hate the 20 rounds. It's getting a little bit difficult to compete against better players when you only have 20 rounds in a magazine. But when this gets the revamp, I think this will still be way up on my top 5 list and possibly passing my favorite weapon, which is the Honey Badger, which is very interesting. But the ASVAL is really good overall. I am going to be giving you guys setups for each of these as well. So the setup that I'm going to be using on the ASVAL, we have the Coyote sight for our optic, the lightweight laser for our laser, because honestly the hipfire is already really good on this weapon, so you don't need to actually add anything that really greatly increases the hipfire, so lightweight will work. We are using the Ranger foregrip, the rubberized tape, and lastly sleight of hand. Now the thing with sleight of hand is it barely does anything for the ASVAL, so you can put on anything else that you would want. If you're trying to level up your weapon, use XP boost. If you want to aim faster, use quick draw. If you want less camera shake, I recommend putting on steady shot. And personally, I think throwing on lightweight, I don't have it unlocked yet because I can't try it yet, but this will bump you up to 100 mobility, which is actually very good, and it competes with submachine guns. So if that's something you want to do, is be very quick with your weapon out, I recommend doing that. But again, sleight of hand doesn't really help. I put it on because that's what I have unlocked, and also it does slightly increase it, but it's not much, and I don't know if it's worth it or not. But yes, ASVAL is the number 5 spot. Let's move on to the number 4 spot. In our number 4 spot is the M16. I was trying to debate between this and the Galil, and the M16, I did end up performing way better with that, so I decided the M16. And I also found like a setup that I really enjoy. Honestly, I wasn't for sure about this setup, but to be honest, it's not too bad. Yeah, but I really enjoy the M16. I definitely think it's worth a try if you guys haven't used it yet. So at level 60, you unlock the M16. Now, the attachments that I have for this is a little bit interesting. A lot of you guys might not like it, but it actually works very well for me. So the first thing that we have is our muzzle brake, which is going to help with our vertical recoil, which this has quite a bit, I won't lie. And then for our ammo, we do have a 50 round drum on. Now you can go without the drum. If you are somebody that needs an optic on their M16, you can take the drum off and just run 30 rounders. That should be fine. And just put on a Coyote sight or something. For our underbarrel, we are running the angle grip. For our stock, we're running the tack stock to increase our ADS speed and also recoil control. And lastly, sleight of hand to help with that 50 round drum. Now, if you don't end up using the 50 round and you're okay with not having an optic, you can replace your perk for steady shot for less camera shake, which kind of helps. It's not too useful, but quick draw is pretty nice and lightweight is pretty nice on the M16. So depending on your playstyle, that's what you should do. But if you can use this without an optic, you're saving attachment slot for very good attachments. So I recommend trying not to use optics, but if you can't, that's okay. All right, boys. Now, in the number 3 spot is actually the M4. Now, I've been juggling around with a ton of different setups when it comes to the M4, but it's overall really good weapon. It has very good recoil control, like something that you can control very easily, which is really nice. I've been jumping around with a ton of different setups with the M4, and to be honest, I think I found the best one for me. Keep in mind, all these setups is to fit my playstyle specifically, so it might not fit yours. Just keep that in mind. So for the attachments for the M4, we are using the muzzle brake for vertical recoil control, the marksman barrel so we can get that damage range. We're actually using a vertical grip, but honestly, I prefer the Ranger grip, so you guys can go between that. I was trying out the vertical grip recently for that hip fire accuracy, but to be honest, the M4 is still super accurate. The vertical grip's not too bad. You don't lose your ADS speed like you do with the Ranger. For our stock, I go between the tack stock and the no stock. Honestly, I've been performing better with the no stock, but I've been trying to get good with the tack stock because it does help with recoil control and does give us ADS speed. And then for our perk attachment, we are running a lightweight so we can kind of compete a little bit more with other submachine guns. For example, we are pushing 94 mobility, and if I were to take off my tack stock and put on the no stock, we're pushing 97, which is a little bit lower than submachine guns, but it is giving you quite a bit of movement speed, which is nice. But I recommend trying it with the tack stock first. Then if you can control that, go with no stock. But yes, that is my setup for the M4. Moving on to the number 2 spot, which is the SCARH. Now, I found the best setup for this. It has absolutely 0 recoil, and it's actually very nice to run around with and flick around. You don't have much ammo. That's the downside to the SCARH, and I hope we do get a revamp eventually. If I can get like 45, I'll even accept 45 rounds on this thing. If it was 35, dude. But overall, just having those 20 rounds is kind of unfortunate, but you do have a slower fire rate, so you can work with that a little bit, and you have high damage, so it's like slow fire rate, no recoil pretty much. It's very slight vertical kick, and then you have high damage and low fire rate, so it kind of works out. But I actually really enjoy the SCARH. It's my second most kills on any weapon in the game, I think. But our setup that we're running for this is the Coyote sight. I usually run the Type 2, but honestly, it doesn't feel that great on the SCAR. My accuracy is really bad whenever I use a Type 2 for some reason with the SCAR. For our muzzle, we're going muzzle brake once again. In my opinion, it's the best to control vertical recoil. And then we're going to be rocking the Ranger foregrip. But again, you can move this around and do whatever you want with this when it comes to your grips. If you think there's a grip better, because I know there's a lot of people out there that think that a different grip is better than others, you can use that. But for me personally, to get my no recoil SCARH, it's the Ranger. We're using rubberized tape to recoil control, and then also steady shot. Actually, surprisingly, been working out pretty well. It does help with the recoil control a little bit. Makes it easy to flick around and aim at people with the SCARH because it does have a little bit of camera shake. But if you're okay with dealing with the camera shake, I recommend sleight of hand a lot because you only have 20 rounds, so you have to reload quite often, which kind of sucks. So sleight of hand is very recommended. But if you can do without it, camera shake reduction is very nice. That is our SCAR setup that I'm rocking as of right now. Hopefully we do get a revamp for this soon in the future because I am super excited to see this actually perform with more ammo in the mag. And as you guys probably thought, in the number 1 spot is the Honey Badger, and in my opinion, the Honey Badger is the best weapon in the game. Every single time I switch to this weapon, I just pop off. Like, I honestly really do. You guys should already know my setup because I did a setup video, but I will let you guys know right now just in case you didn't watch that video. I would like to say that I had a lot of, in quotations, pro players or really good players in general try to adjust my setup, and I promise you this is the best setup in the game if you guys want to actually have a decent chance at range and overall good recoil control. Now keep in mind it is the Honey Badger and it does have quite a bit of recoil, so it's a little bit more on the skillful side of a weapon because you kind of have to master doing your movement and controlling the Honey Badger recoil at the same time, which takes quite a bit of practice, I won't lie. But my setup is dedicated to only having vertical recoil instead of having horizontal and vertical, because any other grip that you put on this thing still have a little bit of horizontal and you'll have a lot of vertical. But in my case, what I'm doing is trying to completely eliminate the horizontal recoil and only have vertical, so I don't have to try to control horizontal at all. And it worked out pretty well. This is a setup that I'm running, the Type 2 dot sight, easily one of the most satisfying sights on the Honey Badger. The lightweight laser, because the hip fire accuracy is already really good, so you don't need a crazy amount of hip fire increase there, and you don't want any other disadvantages, so lightweight laser is the way to go. For our underbarrel, we are rocking the angled grip because honestly, that is the best thing to do to get rid of that horizontal, and that's what makes it where there's no horizontal but a ton of vertical. So just pull down when you're shooting and you'll be fine. We're using rubberized tape for that recoil control also, and we will get a decrease in hip fire, but like I said, this thing's super accurate hip firing, so you don't really have to worry about that. And lastly, sleight of hand. I also do flop around with lightweight as well, which would push you up to 100 mobility. Sleight of hand works the best for me because I can hop out of a fight, reload, and hop straight back in, especially with using the super jump and everything. It works out very well to keep a fast-paced momentum and just honestly catching people off guard because they don't expect you to re-peak that quick. So sleight of hand is definitely the way to go for me personally. But that is my top 5 list for my best assault rifles in bad business. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, why isn't the FAMAS in here? Why isn't the Galil in here? Weapons like that. And I'm going to be honest with you, one, the FAMAS will probably be in my top 5 list when the revamp comes next Friday, which I think is what's releasing next Friday. So hopefully that is going to happen. But as of right now, this is my list. I'll probably do another updated list when all these guns do get their full attachments and stuff. That's probably what I'm going to do. But as of right now, this is my top 5 list, and this is what I enjoy using and what I perform the best with in bad business. Now, keep in mind, like I said, this is my personal preference. So if you guys end up using, for example, my ASVAL setup, if that doesn't work out for you, it's because it fits my play style and how I like to play personally. So it may not fit yours. If you guys do have a similar play style in any way, it might work out very well for you. But if you guys did enjoy this video and you'd like to see me do more top 5 lists on other weapon categories, for example, submachine guns, you can leave a like down below, and I might do another one of these videos in the future, doing another top 5 list for submachine guns or any other weapons in the game. I have a lot of people asking for me to do a best AWP setup, op setup, and I will have one coming out very soon. I just don't want to flood you guys with a ton of op gameplay because that's pretty much, I've already done that. So we gotta relax a little bit, but you guys will probably get something next week. But anyways, with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Thank you guys so much for all the support recently on the channel. I really do appreciate it. You guys have been absolutely killing it. This is probably my biggest month I've had on YouTube in quite a long time. So I appreciate all the support. See you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace out.